Dominic Patten joins us this morning. He's a senior editor, legal and TV critic for Deadline Hollywood. Good to see you as always. Is this vindication for Alec Baldwin?
I don't think so. I think this is a step that brings the volume down a little bit. But as the recently appointed special prosecutor said, this does not absolve him. We are going to see this actually formally happen today. As of right now, those charges have actually not been dropped. That's actually going to happen at approximately 2:30 New Mexico time in a virtual hearing they're going to have. But they're already saying, as you guys reported so well, that there is an investigation going on into what happened. And it looks like there might be a lot more evidence that was not properly looked at by either law enforcement or the Santa Fe DA.
Well, and one detail, Dominic, is that the gun had been modified, they're now saying. It seems like a pretty key piece of information if you're going to proceed with charging someone.
Yes, and well, of course, the gun, of course, has been at the heart of all this. You know, just a few months ago, one of Baldwin's lawyers in one of their virtual conferences they've been doing with hearings with the judge said the gun had been destroyed. There was a whole hoopla about that. Turned out the gun had been partially damaged when the FBI were doing some tests on it. But this is a key piece of evidence. Whether or not the gun was modified, and we're certainly hearing there was something that happened to it, and whether or not Alec Baldwin, it turns out incredulously, was right that he never pulled the trigger, which almost everyone disregarded at the time, the fact of the matter is the gun has always been a key piece of evidence, and it does seem like with these new special prosecutors who were brought on board, when they took a sober second look at the evidence, they realized it did not add up. And let's be honest, prosecutors, often like many employees in many types of jobs, they want to succeed in their job. They don't want to have a case where they're going to be left hanging and it's going to be a not guilty. So they are clearly modifying, to use the phrase of the day, their case to see what they're going to do. Now, the charges that were put against Baldwin and Hannah Torres-Reed, who is still being charged, were the maximum charges that could be put against them in this particular case. We might see a lesser charge come forward in the next coming months once the further evidence and investigation is concluded.
I guess the question being, did they rush to charge?
Well, I would say yes, I would say no. First thing, no, they waited almost a year and a half after the terrible, tragic accident that killed Helena Hutchins on October 21st, 2021. They were not actually charged until January 31st of this year. There was an FBI report, there was a sheriff's department report, and it took a while. But then, once those charges were laid, we basically saw a train wreck happen for the DA. There was the fire enhancement charge, which would have seen Baldwin and Reed facing 5 years in prison. That charge was dropped, being deemed unconstitutional under the statutes of New Mexico, because, to be honest, it didn't exist when this happened. Then there was the resignation of the previous special prosecutor when it turned out that not only was she a member of the state legislature as a Republican, but she had actually wanted to use being appointed as special prosecutor to help her campaign. Then there were various other losses the DA had. It was only at the end of last month when we saw the highly respected Terry Morrison and Jason Lewis appointed as special prosecutors that we saw everything kind of slow down and become a much more professional endeavor. That's where it brings us to today.
What, if all, is Alec Baldwin saying about this right now? Has he responded?
Yes, he did a brief response, which was uncharacteristic for the verbose Mr. Baldwin. He basically put up a photo of himself and his wife on his Instagram account, saying that he owed everything to her and to Luke, who happens to be the first name of his lawyer.
All right. How will this impact? You brought up the armorer in the case, Hannah Torres-Reed, who faces involuntary manslaughter charges as well. Is her case different?
It is and it isn't. You know, right now her lawyers are saying they hope that she will be exonerated. Right now, the special prosecutors have said the charges still stand against her. But as this evidence goes forward, we need to ask questions. Well, who did modify this gun if it was modified? How did those live rounds get on the set? What I will say to viewers that's very interesting about all this, you know, we broke this story yesterday. This moved at lightning speed. On Monday, the special prosecutors released their 35-person strong witness list for the preliminary examination / mini trial that was supposed to start on May 3rd. That was on Monday. On Wednesday, these rumors started swirling like crazy, and we saw this all happen on Thursday. So this is a very fast-moving situation on many levels. Expect a lot more twists and turns before this is over. And let's be clear, as you guys said in your report earlier, it ain't over.
Right, and production of the movie ongoing. We'll see how that impacts that. Dominic Patten, as always, learn a lot from our conversations. Great to have you on and chat.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.